What's up, peeps? How y'all doing?
Good, everything.
Good, good.
The additions along the defensive line, Akiem, Hicks, Logan Hall, Vita, how have they been acclimating to the room, and what have you seen out of them, and what they're going to bring to the team?
You know, when this first group first got together and we started assimilating, and it was like talent-wise, we thought really had upgraded. But after being with them and working with them as a whole, talent-wise, it might be the best group we've had. Because, you know, when you bring Logan in, he was kind of something we didn't have with the explosion. Then you bring Akiem, Hicks, and, you know, we kind of play power ball, big ball, and he fits that mold there. So these guys really complement each other well. And then when you sit and start talking about personnel, getting down to your numbers or whatever, it became tough when you look at Sanad and some of the other guys we had. You know, we felt like some of the guys we were releasing to hoping to get the practice squad could play in games for us, and that's a good problem to have.
Coach Goody said that trying to stop Vita and Akiem Hicks was like trying to stop a motorhome, a large motorhome in motion. What do you think of that analogy? That's what he said, trying to go against those guys every day.
You know, those guys are very interesting because of their size and the power thing. The thing is we just got to keep harking on them on their technique and stuff like that. But the thing is, for us, those guys, if they can force double teams, it gives our guys, our fast linebackers, the ability to run and make plays. So that's what we want them to be able to do.
How tough is it when you guys are in nickel and you only have maybe 2 D linemen on there? It's hard to kind of keep everybody in there frequently and almost, you know, active in there. What's that challenge like? It's a nice problem to have, don't get me wrong.
Right.
What's that challenge like?
Well, the thing is, we want to really play matchup. Now, it gives us the ability to play matchup, and we're just looking at our upcoming opponent who matches up well. And the thing is, and you know, throughout the time we've been here, we do a pretty good job of rolling our guys pretty regularly. The thing is, the 6 we take to the game, usually we feel pretty confident with them being in the game. You know, we see Vita, since we've been here, he played third down, you know, at his size. Then Akiem has played third down. Then you drafted Logan to help you on third down, and then you get some of the other pieces in there with Golston and Nacho. We feel comfortable with all those guys out there at any particular time.
It seemed like last year the injuries put such an asterisk on a lot of the defensive season because you just weren't at full strength or so much of it. Being healthy is where it starts. But where do you think this defense can be the most improved from last year to this year?
The thing that you see is the overall athleticism. The thing, and when I say that, we looked at a bunch of guys that were released that are no longer with us, played a lot of snaps for us, but we still feel like that the people we acquired gives us the flexibility of some position flex and more athleticism.
What have you seen out of Logan Hall specifically? I know with a guy that's long like that, pad level's always going to be kind of an issue or something they have to kind of work through, but what have you seen after working with them for a
The
few
thing
months?
about him is, and what we saw in college, is his ability to win one-on-ones. And we were thinking we try to be a pressure-style defense. And that being said, some of the looks we create, we're going to guarantee a one-on-one, or we're going to force you to give us a one-on-one here. And we feel like in what he's shown so far in camp is the ability to win a one-on-one. We know what our edge guys can do, but you know what our big guys can do, but they're going to be more power-oriented. It's going to take them longer to get there. Logan has that quick twitch guy to be 6'5", 6'6", 290, 295, and he can really move. So that is something that we didn't have.
I know that he was just signed, and right now he's just on the practice squad, but Jason Peters is a guy you could potentially face. Again, I'm not sure what kind of shape he's in, but you could potentially be facing him this Sunday. What jumps out when you look at him or when you think of his body of work?
Well, when you look at the veteran, first of all, I was with him in college at Arkansas, so you taking me, you calling my age out now, but he is still. But you're still talking about a quality pro, and when we look back, we played against him last year at Chicago, and the guy's still doing it on a high level. Then we played against him in Philly a couple of years. The guy's really been around. He's seen it all, and a serviceable guy and a competitor. So that's the thing. We just got to prepare for whoever puts out, but he will definitely be a solid player.
You obviously added a new title this offseason. How has that been going, and how has it kind of changed your week leading into a game?
Well, the beauty about it is everything really stayed status quo, and now it's more responsibility in the far as on the field stuff and this and that, and having to call the plays from that standpoint. But really, we were such an interactive group when it comes to game planning. We're all in this a cohesive group, and then at the end of the day, we'll make a decision and we'll go with it. But everybody, the way we game plan, everybody brings something to the table. So really, for us, the best thing to say is we kind of been status quo. It really hadn't changed the way we go about business at all.
I know you don't coach the back end, but you obviously are one of the coordinators. When you watch Jamel Dean, who Coach Bull said is going to be the starter this year,
Right.
what shows up in practice that you see?
Well, this year was kind of interesting going into camp, but he made it clear right away we're going to have a battle for that position. And each day, Dean just kind of kept making plays. And I sit next to Rock in our meeting room, and every day he pointed out, getting his hands on the ball. And that's, with the style of defense we play, our corners, they're out there now. You got to be able to get your hands on the ball, and you got to be able to cover X and Z. So, and he stepped up and really did it. And to see the growth, this guy, and the one to really step up, because it was really close, because Sean had a good camp, but just to see that the growth that he made was really impressive.
He's always had like the physical traits, right?
No doubt
Long
that-
guy, 4.3 speed, it's just such a rare package, but what do you think the difference was, or what switch kind of needed to flip between last year and this year? To get
Become
him
more of a
started?
smarter player, noticing situations. We play a lot of man, so if they get ready to bunch you got to be able to make sure you're communicating a call, this and that. That they give you a lot of stuff to play with your eyes. His eyes are in the right place. We knew he could cover. Now he's seeing the total game, and he's really, really maturing as a football player.
Not getting
Was it-
fooled as much by like double moves and
Stuff like that. His eyes are in better shape, and he kind of know combination routes. If there's something coming in front of you, they bring in something behind you and stuff like that. His just knowledge of the game is really, really noticeable.
Was it more difficult to kind of gauge that competition because it looked like Sean Murphy-Bunting exclusively played with the ones the entire camp and then got the go-ahead start against the Colts, where Dean was mostly playing with the two? How do you compare the two when, no one's a lesser player, but obviously there are stronger players you're going up against as a number one versus a backup?
Well, when you look at it, we were very, very fortunate to have Miami come in. Then we went to Tennessee. So when all our one-on-one drills and this and that, it really wasn't just like the preseason game or this and that, the full body of work. And then the way we always practice good on good and practice leading in good. So, you're covering, you got Mike Evans running around, you got Julio, you got a lot of receivers. So we really judged it from the full body of work.
Anything else? Okay, thank you.
Oh, thank you guys.